guys, welcome to Vartalap with Akriti. My name is Akriti Anand, and today is a big episode because today is episode 25 of the show. So Vartalap with Akriti is something that I started in the lockdown, और उसके बाद से I was not sure कि कितने episode होने वाले हैं, कब तक ये जाएगा, and who will come on my show because it was a random plan, but with the love that all of you have showered on me and on the show, today we have reached episode 25. Yay! And to celebrate this episode with me, I thought I will get someone from my personal field, my own field, fashion field, and I am so lucky that today Indian fashion supermodel Candice Pinto is coming live with me, and we are going to talk to her about everything that it takes to be a supermodel. आज की डेट में अगर किसी को सुपरमॉडल बनना है तो ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो गया है. मतलब इतना कंपटीशन है, इतने सब लोग हैं जो आ रहे हैं, एंड बहुत सारे मिथ्स भी हैं जो फैशन इंडस्ट्री से एसोसिएटेड है. पीपल फील दैट इट्स अ वेरी इजी करियर, एनीबडी कैन बी अ मॉडल. एक टाइम था जब लिमिटेड लोग मॉडल होते थे और उनको लोग देखते थे, पूछते थे, एंड दे हैव अ नेम, दे स्टिल हैव अ नेम, लाइक कैंडिस who's coming on my show. But today I see anybody and everybody is a model. So, well, not taking any names, I think modeling is a difficult career. It takes a lot to hold on to a position and to be there for a long time, especially in a career like modeling. And Candice has done a fabulous job doing this. She has been ruling the runway for more than 2 decades now, and I am super excited that she's on my show today. So, without further ado, let me take Candice Pinto live and let's chat with her about what it takes to be a supermodel. क्या है कैंडिस के सीक्रेट्स जो उन्होंने रखे हैं अपने पास छुपा के. आज हम सब सीक्रेट निकलवाएंगे. Down. Hi Candy,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you? And congratulations on 25.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you agreed to do this live session with me on the 25th episode. I mean, this episode was really special to me and I wanted you to be there.
We have been trying to do this episode thing since I think since the last 3-4 weeks. It's been like a chase. I think I'm happy to be here and thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure that you're here. By the way, you look stunning, yeah.
So do you. Thank you.
I'm just trying, but
I think when you do a lot of this video and you're on this profession, it comes naturally getting ready and doing things that make you look good, which I think it's compulsory because there's a lot of viewership and it's so important that you look presentable, whether it even means taking 1 hour dressing up.
So there's a general perception, no? People think that models take a lot of time to get ready. Is it true?
I think why not? Because we are women, we do take a lot of time. But trust me, since I've been married, I think my husband takes over that because he takes more time than me to dress up most of the time because we don't have makeup to apply. But I think grooming does take a lot of time.
Yeah, but when we're doing it every day as a model, I think somewhere we become used to of it. So then you can do your makeup in 5 minutes also whenever it is needed.
How long did you take to do your makeup?
Today,
Exactly.
10 minutes.
Exactly, it's the same. I mean, why not? If you're going to be making sure that you look presentable on camera, why not take that extra since we have time to do that?
Absolutely. And you always look presentable. You've always looked really good on camera. And I've been noticing your YouTube channel as well. You're teaching everybody how to be more model-like.
I think it's so important because if I have the knowledge and I have the time, which we're always complaining that we don't have time to actually speak to our audience or speak to people who want to learn. So this is the right time, and I thought since I was always on YouTube but never really utilized YouTube, and after a few of my friends on Instagram actually initiated that and asked me like you should use the same content on YouTube, then I went about the channel. So now I've kind of gotten used to it. It's been 2 months and it's pretty good. It takes a lot of time to make content, but it's a good process and it's knowledgeable for people who want to learn.
Yeah, and when you have a lot of knowledge, it's always nice to give it out to people. That's how your knowledge will also grow.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I basically saw you doing a video with Dipti. You were teaching makeup and you both were doing stuff, and I was like, wow, this is great, yeah.
It was actually good because when you're having a conversation with your friend who literally you speak to every second day, I think it comes so naturally because, as you know, we both of us put together, no matter how often we see each other, we have so much to catch up on. And I think in the process of having a conversation, we have so much to say that people grasp the idea and I think kind of visualize as to what exactly two women do who are in the same profession as well, who are friends. And I think she's more like family to me now over the last, I think, 15 years that we've known each other. So yeah,
Yeah, you guys are really thick together.
yes. So our industry is such that.
Can
So tell me, I feel like as of it's really weird because when you interview me, it's a little difficult as to what to say because we have the same profession and obviously you have now ventured out to do something more creative. So yeah, so ask me what you need to ask.
I want to know the biggest secret which you have been keeping to yourself. I mean, I'm sure you must be telling to other people, but um, there is one question which always bothered me that some people, like when I was entering the fashion industry, most people told me it's a age specific career. You cannot be a model after, 35 or 40 or maybe even after 30. You have to look a certain way. Everybody is constantly judging you on the way you look, how you carry yourself. So a lot of myths, a lot of reality, a lot of thoughts that goes into the mind of everyone who wants to get into the career of modeling. When I entered, I was absolutely clueless, and आपको तो मैंने बचपन से देखा है, मतलब I'm
You sound like
not
100 years
saying
old.
बचपन but जब से मुझे समझ आया कि there is something like modeling, जब से I felt that okay, I want to get into this career. I've seen people like you, Netra, Carol, Dipti, all of you I've seen in the magazines, on the television shows, on fashion weeks, striding the runway. And you were the supermodels. You still are the supermodels. You're running it. You're running the entire show. You know everyone in the industry. What does it take to reach there? What is the secret? That is something I want to understand from you in today's conversation.
See, it takes progression firstly. Now, everyone just knows the term supermodel, but everyone needs to realize the amount of effort and amount of time, experience, work that goes into actually getting the supermodel status. And back in the days, I think the supermodel status firstly came in the 80s or 90s, as far as I know. And when I started my career, that was around 20 years back. For me, even everything was equally new. And nowadays, things are a little different because people want to get famous really fast. Back in the days, because
Yeah.
everything was very limited, our supermodels or my senior models were fabulous. And we just had a few bunch of models, but everyone was one better than the other. You couldn't compare them. Whether it's Amer Jessia that I worked with, or whether it was Madhu Sapre, or there was Fleur, Nina, Jessie Randhawa. So I looked up to them because they were fabulous. Like even we have Noina walking even now. So it's not about how to become a supermodel. It's the years of experience and hard work and worldly recognition, the amount of travel that gives you that status of a supermodel. And since I could say that, it's not that I tag myself as a supermodel, because I've come from a breed of all amazing models. I've learned so much from them, and it has taken hard work. Well, I've had my ups and downs. When I started when I was around 17 and a half, and it was quite hard to break that circle or for someone to accept you because back in the days, I think pageants were very important because everyone was a pageant holder. So there was a Miss India and the Gladwag supermodel. So they always look forward to the winners every year. And even the girls who have been in Glad Rags, whether it's a Archel or a Dipti, Archel actually crowned me. So we have had very good girls, both in Miss India as well. Miss India had Lara Datta, Dia Mirza, like Priyanka Chopra. So we had a good set of girls. So I've grown up with a bunch of fabulous, well-talented girls who we look up to, and they were a great role model for me and for a lot of girls. And back in the days, we never had agency, so all our work was done by ourselves. I have traveled by rickshaws, I've traveled by trains, I've traveled by BST. I used to go to college by BST bus. So we've gone through hardship. So over the years of what we have acquired through our work has given us a supermodel status. And we all have been on world platforms. So if you have to Google our well-known names, you'll always see that Wikipedia always has something to say about us
Yeah.
because we have come over the years and accomplished certain things. I was the first Indian to win Miss Tourism Worldwide, which took place in Malaysia in 2002.
Right.
So for me, it was quite an experience because this is my learning point when I came back and I finished my education. So it was my choice whether to move forward with my MBA or whether to pursue modeling as a career. So when I took up modeling, I never thought about, oh, I'm like, how long will I going to model for? But I gave myself 5 years. I seen how work picked up, and it just picked up so well for me, touch wood, that I enjoyed the whole progression. So now, after 2 decades, I can proudly say that my experience has been great, not just because I've completed 20 years, because I have worked hard every year with every project I did, whether it's music videos, commercials, catalogs. I've given my 110%. So people need to realize that first you need to be a successful model to reach that celebrity status of being a supermodel. Otherwise,
Yeah.
every second person you see is a model and then eventually they call themselves supermodel. But they need to realize the importance of the word supermodel. So it's just
Yeah.
a tag, but at the end of it, you need to be a successful model to be maybe where I am today, or a lot of other friends of mine where they are today, or where they have been. So it's all about
Yeah.
hard work.
It's all about hard work. Definitely, attaining that status of a supermodel is needs a lot of hard work. But what does it mean to be a supermodel? You have been there, you've done that. Everybody knows you. Like you've worked with almost all the designers in the country. You've worked abroad. You've been a pageant winner. You've done movies. You've done.
Not done movies.
You were in that song, right?
Yeah.
Come to me.
No,
You were
I
in
was
that.
not in that song. I refuse to do movies because I don't think I really seen myself doing movies. Because personally, when I
Uh-huh.
entered fashion as a profession, my parents were very
Yeah.
strict about me entering fashion. So movies was a different scenario. So I never really ventured into it. Maybe back in the days, if we had agencies and managers, maybe things would have been different. But I never really pursued it because I think I was very happy in the space that I was in because I was doing so much as a model. And I thought, let me just focus on one thing. So movies was never my criteria. Never, I did get calls and stuff like that, but I never really ventured into it because I never gave it a top priority for me because I was enjoying what I was doing. Yeah, but
Yeah. Most people. Yeah.
yeah, tell me. I was trying
So
to leave.
most girls nowadays see modeling as a stepping stone to get into acting or to get into something else. Did you, when you entered the industry, did you also think of doing something else, like using modeling as a stepping stone, or was this your only focus?
So when I started modeling, firstly, for me, modeling was just like I said, I'll give it 5 years because I had a lot of plans of studying further and doing a lot of other things that I had in mind. But then work happened, and trust me, back in the days, modeling is such a vast field because we had so much of work that our music videos were like a raging thing back in the
Yeah.
days. We used to do a lot of commercials, we used to do a lot of catalogs. We used to travel, we used to have press previews, we used to have launches out of the city. So everything with the market was really good. And since we had such limited amount of models who were really good, there was work everywhere we went. And before we used to do 3 days for a show, now it's like 2 or 1 day for a show. So everything was very well formatted and organized. So it gave you a basic freedom of doing whatever you wanted. So movies were something that which was optional. There are people, if they wanted to do movies, okay, then they took it up. But otherwise, it was not like, let me just jump into being a model and then eventually, and then we were not really, we didn't have social media back in the days. Everything was either Facebook. That Facebook came a little in the early 2000s. And
Big,
then you had
yeah.
newspaper, magazines. So this was it. So people used to read newspapers, magazines, and now the social media has taken over everything. So people see each other's lives a little more deeper than what it used to be. So in a way, it's good. It has its pros and cons because what they have lacked over the years is quality. We have excess quantity, but quality is something that I think it was better off back in the days.
So you're talking about quality was better back in the days. Over the years, industry have also changed quite a lot. So what do you consider quality? Who can call themselves as a quality model?
See, when you're with the right people, now you have agencies, so the agencies do guide you. But sometimes I feel the agencies, sometimes I have a lot of friends who have agencies, but sometimes I think a model knows what she wants. If the model is new and she knows what exactly she's looking for in this profession, she comes prepared for it. But someone who's new doesn't know much, So they grasp whatever the agency has to say, and because you're so vulnerable at such an early age, so you get kind of influenced really fast. So you make wrong decisions sometimes and just go with the flow. So in the process, you lose a lot of work, and because everything is given to them on a platter, it's not as hard as it used to be. So they don't want to go through that struggle. If you take a model from an agent who has been with an agency for like years and asked to fend for themselves, they won't be able to do that. It's very hard for them because they're so used to someone doing it for them. So there are very few girls who kind of made it on their own amongst the new a lot of girls, and hats off to them because it takes a lot, at least now in the times that we're living in, because you have agencies all over the place. Everyone's undercutting, everyone's pushing their girls. So there's more quantity than quality in the whole process, and everyone has this herd mentality. The one person is quite like one person is doing really well and everyone just follows the same routine. So what goes up fast comes equally fast down as well. So I think everyone has to have their own mind and build their own personality and develop a sense of being in this industry. I think it's important.
Yeah, rightly said. I mean, there are actually too many industries, and now I see any girl is calling themselves a model. Earlier, there used to be a thing, okay, the model has to look a certain way, she needs to be tall, she needs to, speak a certain way, she needs to walk, differently like a model. But abhi to everybody, like a Lokhandwala girl is a model.
I think anyone, any profession, whether you're an engineer, you do a bit of engineering. Everyone's an engineer. You do something in being in science, and you kind of make it not practice being a doctor, then you become a doctor. So I think it's the same in every industry. You do something, and people just claim to fame. But yeah, in our industry, everyone tags themselves as models, influencers. I think it's just become the thing is just like trendy, I guess. And because everyone is obsessed with social media, including me, but I think it's just a matter of the generation has changed and times have changed. So I think your work speaks for yourself at the end of it. And to create a niche in this industry, you actually have to work hard because at the end of the day, your work is going to speak for you, no matter what you do.
Does it ever anger you that, it is a profession that you love so much, you've dedicated so many years to the modeling industry, and now you see anybody coming up and calling themselves a model? Do you ever feel angry that there's so much hard work that you have put in and you have achieved a level in the industry, right? And anybody coming in and saying themselves, calling themselves a model or a supermodel?
If you had asked me this question like maybe 15 years ago, maybe I would have had said something else. But right now, we're in a much more secure place. So by asking me this question, it doesn't really bother me, or maybe anyone around me who's been so many years in the industry. Because when you find your space and you're very secure in what you are, and I know my work speaks for myself, it doesn't really bother me because it's not only about modeling; it's about any industry. Everyone just has a tag, and the tag comes and goes. I mean, I see so many people who are models who I've never seen. Sometimes you see read newspapers when someone's caught or someone's attacked, they call themselves models, but you've never really seen them anywhere. So I think I've gotten
Yeah.
so used to it that it doesn't affect me anymore, and it doesn't really matter because at the end of it, I know my place, and I'm sure if they are upcoming models, they will call themselves models, and hopefully they do well in the future if they claim to be a model. So yeah.
Right. So, Candy, let's go 20 years back when you entered the pageant, Glad Rags. When you entered, you were not a model before that pageant, but
No.
after winning the pageant, you became a model. So, were you nervous when you walked on that runway for the first time when you saw Wadia ma'am?
Listen, I'm nervous even before every show I do, even now. So being nervous is great. It's a good sign that you're still passionate about your work. So I've been nervous every time I do a show, even now, whether I'm doing a shoot, whether I'm going for fittings. It's like I always have butterflies in my stomach, and I think it's a good feeling because you know that you still love your job and you're still taking it seriously. And back in the days, my pageant, okay, I had my sister with me throughout because everything was new, and Maureen was amazing. She was just like a mother, and she guided all of us really well. And I must say, she has a brilliant eye for talent because I think after our pre-judging, I was sure that I was in the top five because you have a lot of question answer rounds and you kind of gauge around that time as to what's going to happen. So she was quite a good guide during the pageant, and I was nervous. I still remember. I still have the memory so clear because when they were announcing the winners of Glad Rags, and they announced because there was a lot of competition between during our year. And I remember they'd announced the first runner-up, and when they were about to announce the winner, they'd announced my name, but it never registered because I actually thought, okay, I might not win. So when they announced my name, it came as a shock. But then, yeah, things changed after that. It was a drastically different, but for me to see something happening, like a big change in my life, it was a bit different. It was nice because I was still in college. I remember going to my college and everyone knew about what happened, but it took me time to register. And one thing is good that I had a great family support system that kept me grounded. So no matter whether I became Glad Rags or I won Miss Tourism, when I went back home, I was just a normal, their daughter, just a normal person. So it didn't really affect me. Now over the years, my father still doesn't understand how we worked for so many years and how 20 years have gone by. So when I'm back home,
Yeah.
just myself. So this has not really changed me as a person. I'm still the same person, which is good.
You're very down to earth. Usually, there's a conception in people's head that models who are supermodels, it's difficult to talk to them. But you're someone who's very sweet. Yeah, you always replied
You.
nicely. You always pick up calls. And it's not just me who's saying this. I've spoken to many people in the industry, and when we talk to them about who's their favorite supermodel, they always take your name.
Thank you. I'm not very good with compliments, but yeah, I shall take that. I think because it's also, I know the whole process of when I started. It is difficult for a lot of girls, especially from smaller towns when they come, because when they come to a city that is moving really fast, they kind of get lost. And I am from the city, so when I entered, I was quite nervous. It took me a lot of time to register, going for casting, screen tests, auditions. It was quite a process. So I know it is very difficult when you enter a room full of known people, and you are pretty cautious about how you're going to be around, how you're dressing up, how you're going to talk to someone. So I think it's so necessary to help people who need your help, and I'm always there to help them out because I know how it feels like because I've been there. So I think it's always
Right.
good to help someone who's in the same shoes.
I remember when I was new and I entered the room, which was full of models. Firstly, it was such a shock for me. All the pretty tall girls, so everybody is so thin. Because when I was in my hometown, everybody told me that I am very thin, I'm very tall. So it was in my head that, okay, I'm the only one. When I entered Bombay, I went for fashion weeks. I saw people like you, everybody tall, beautiful, and it is intimidating for anybody.
Anyone,
And
anyone.
coming from a small town, you have something in your head which you're like, okay, maybe I'm not good enough because you see such beautiful, talented people you've always seen in magazines and they're in front of you live. So it sometimes take a toll.
But
But
I
you
think
have
it's quite
always been
natural.
sweet.
It's natural for anyone to feel like that, and why not? Because at the end of it, you're human, so it's normal to feel like that. And
Yeah.
that's why I had my sister with me because I didn't know what was happening. Because when you're so vulnerable at that age, you think someone could take advantage, which people do take advantage of you. Because sometimes you have so much of talent that there's always someone either trying to use you or abuse you for their benefits. So it's always good to actually have a good backup, like your friends and your family, to always guide you or take help from them because they're the best persons to judge you because they've known you for so long. So I think it's so important to understand uh, everyone's state of mind because everyone in this industry is here to just work. So, and it is quite a glamorous field, no doubt, but it has its pros and cons. And there are people, it's quite a struggle actually for someone who's new, at least now because you have agencies. So, if someone who's new doesn't have an agent, it's very hard to break into the market. So, at least you
Right,
have
right.
agencies, so there is guidance somewhere. But in this situation that we are in right now, so everything is like 50-50, I guess.
What is the biggest struggle that you have faced in the career?
Um, struggle, see, my struggle has been working very hard. There'll always be people who are going to put you down because I think that's how this industry works and a lot of other industry works. Because when you're actually trying to reach success, there'll be someone who's guiding you the wrong way or telling you things that is not supposed to be the way it's supposed to be. So I think it's so important to have your own mind and gauge and observe and learn. So struggle for me has been there in the last 2 decades. It's been there every second year, whether it's been uh, going for an audition, and sometimes you're getting not selected for the audition, then it affects you mentally. And if you're not in a great frame of mind, then you actually kind of go low, because there are days where you're actually working. I'm not speaking just about me, but there are models who normally don't work for a period, and it kind of affects them because that's all they know. And over the years, they've been trying hard. I know it's easy money that you get, but someone who's not getting work on regular basis, it kind of affects them mentally and physically. And then what does one do? Exactly. So it is stressful, whether you have to keep maintaining your fitness levels. uh, Designers need certain body types. You're going for fashion week, there's always comparison. You're put on weight or you're lost weight. You're supposed to look good all the time. Your skin is good, your skin is bad. And people out here have, it's like your first impression is your lasting impression. So even if they've seen you once and they don't like you, they'll carry on that perception forever till you finish your profession. Your profession also is over. So people are out here are very, how do I say? Their memory is like they'll see you once, and if they like you, it's great. If they don't like you, they'll never like you for the rest of your life. So I think you have to work so hard. So our industry is stressful when it comes to a lot of aspects. And everywhere, and since there are models coming in and out every year, there's a new model. So there's always shuffling. So you have to be your best. You have to be your fittest in this profession, and it is always stressful because you're always being judged.
Right. So because you're always being judged, even on the runway you're being judged, you're off the runway you're being judged. How do you handle such kind of pressures?
I think when you know you're in this job, apart from it being a glamorous job, I think you have to be prepared. This comes with experience, because in the start, when you observe your seniors, I used to observe my seniors all the time, whether it's traveling with them, seeing what they're doing. So for me, my observation and my experience being with them, I've learned so much over the years, whether it's dressing up, whether it's applying makeup for while going for press conferences, while traveling to see what kind of clothes you're traveling in. Because every time we do travel, people watch us, people are looking at us, whether it's a normal person. So it's so important to actually look your best all the time, whether it's even wearing jeans and a t-shirt. But you have to be dressed appropriately, because at the end of the day, you are a model and you're sending signals to people who are going to be watching you 24/7. So I think it's important, since you're in the profession, you have to know what it takes to be a great model. So you have to put yourself, compact yourself together so well, so you look presentable, and you give a good name to who we all represent, the modeling industry. So it is very important to be groomed all the time.
Right, it is. And especially because you're traveling all the time, when this is season time and you're working, then sometimes you're just traveling a week, 2 weeks, like all together, and then you don't get time to sleep. You're just working constantly. And I've seen you do that. There are
There's
times,
nothing as
especially.
season. I know people say season. I
Yeah.
think as a model, you're working round the clock. There was never a time, because in the monsoons we used to have most of our graduating designer student shows, and we used to travel the most. So when they used to say season, and season is high, season is low. I think the only time the season goes down is post the New Year's, because everyone's still holidaying and everyone's just recovering from a
Yeah.
holiday. So there was never a season off, at least for me, because I always thought I was okay. We used to get breaks in between, like a week break used to be like heaven. Even that 1 week was not enough to recover from a fashion week. So there was never an off season, because as a model, you're working round the clock 24/7. So you're required at any given time. So I don't think it's like season. I would just say that we are lucky to have some time off, and we make the best use of it. And it's a little hard to shuffle between traveling, working, and working out in the gym. So it's quite a 24/7 job to me. I don't think there's
It is a
anything.
24/7 job because in the day you're working, and then in the night after the shows, you mostly have after parties, and
Not,
you have to be present over there in the
not
after
really.
parties. Look your fabulous self.
See, going for parties
Yeah,
is a
not really.
choice. Going for parties is a choice. A lot of people go
You think
back in the days when I started my career. The parties used to be fun, used to be not like, and there used to be deadlines, and obviously you're in your early teens, so you everything is like amazing. But then working the next day also kind of either ruins your whole like process or routine, because it shows on your face. So over the years we started balancing it, because we used to go to parties. If you have shoes, then you really can't party it, because the next day your full face looks puffy. Even if you like,
right.
if you are like splurging on amazing dinner, the next day your face looks different. So you keep balancing yourself every time. So yeah, but I think it comes with experience. how you shuffle between your work and your parties. It's okay to unwind. I think everyone likes to party after, whether it's even modeling or whether it's even a commercial industry.
I've been told that you when you go to these parties, you kind of make connects, and it's a good place to network with people, especially for a model. So I was coming from that perception. Is it true that when you go to parties, you make connection, you meet people, then possibly it helps you with your career? Has it ever
That's
helped you?
that's why it's very important to know which parties you're going for. Because there are a lot of fashion awards. There are a lot of events which launch new things with regards to fashion or a magazine or a designer. So when they say to go, it's not to be noticed. It's about making relationships because a lot of people, when they're working, they don't really have time to focus on models, designers, stylists, or makeup artists. So when you're at a party under one house, you meet everyone personally and up close because everyone's unwinding. So it's the best time to socialize so that people know you one on one. Now I'm not talking about the other kind of socializing, you're going and dancing and you're drinking and you're, which is allowed, but this is the kind of parties that one has to go for just to make a relationship better under the same industry. Or you'll obviously come across people who are not from the industry as well. But then I think if you're smart enough, you will know how to tackle situations like that. But yeah, parties are to actually enhance what you already have created and you're working under.
Yeah. Great, yeah, Candice, you've been amazing. Now, I want to burst some myths, model myths with you.
Oh,
And for that, I am going to ask you only 5 questions, nothing much,
only
just
five?
5 questions.
And that'll be
Only
20.
five.
Tell me.
20? Okay, I can do 20. No, just 5 questions. You have to say if it is a myth or is it a truth. And if you want, you can expand on it. If you don't want, we can stop at that as well.
That's good.
Okay?
Yeah.
Up to you, whatever. If you want to expand, you can expand on it. All right. So, first question. Models are not down to earth. Is it a truth or a myth?
I would say 50-50. It's a mix of both. That's the first question which I actually said because you do find the models who are not down to earth and you find models who are down to earth. So it's 50-50
Hmm.
because everyone's not really sweet, you know. They're just not like me.
Everybody is not Candace.
Yeah, not everyone is an extrovert and it's okay to speak with other people. Some people are introverts, they don't really speak at all. So they come across as, you know what I mean.
But okay. Question number 2. Modeling is age specific career.
That's a myth.
Truth or
That's a
it's a
myth.
myth.
Yeah.
And you have defied it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a myth, you know what,
Question
because
number. Huh.
listen,
Go
I
ahead.
keep telling a story on every question you ask me. It is a
Please
myth
do.
because you can branch out to do so many things because in this profession, once you be a model, you can either get into grooming, you can expand your career. You have more models who do advertisements, they do commercials, ads. So it's just, and if you're looking great even at 50, you can model. I mean, there's no age as such. You just have to be in great shape and look 18.
Yeah. Great, yeah, great answer. Okay, moving on. Question number 3. Models don't eat food.
That's a myth. I think models eat more food than normal people. You need to feed them like 4-5 times in a day. And that's the truth. I think someone needs to see how much they eat.
Actually, I do eat a lot.
Yeah, and it's some
And
of the
I've
most
seen
unhealthy
you,
food.
and you are a foodie. You've been cooking quite a lot on your social media.
You know, I believe
Yeah.
you live your life just once. This
Yeah.
is it. You eat, you celebrate, you work out hard, you do everything because I want to live my life to the fullest. I love eating. I love cooking.
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
I want, time is just passing by. Look at the situation that we are in. I think you make the
I
best.
know. It's really sad that
I just take
COVID-19 has come
calls.
up and the entire industry.
Someone's actually taking
Sorry?
calls. Listen, models do it. I know which model
Pause.
you have seen. Come to
Okay.
my place. Let's
Question
model.
number 4.
Yeah.
Let's go burst some more myths. Okay. Models have pretty faces with no brains. Truth or myth?
50-50. You know, models with brains and you
This
have.
is getting spicy.
No, but it's a fact. Not everyone's really smart.
Yeah.
Some people have pretty
And
faces, but if you don't really use your skills creatively, you don't use your mind, then obviously it'll come across. And it's not that I'm trying to be cheeky, but it is the truth. Not everyone has the power to actually use their mind, and not everyone is smart. Some people can be just great models, but you need someone to handle them, which is fine.
Absolutely. And in order to be in a position where you are, in order to reach at the epitome of your career, you need to have some kind of brains. Just a pretty face is not going to take you anywhere.
To make it this way, this long, you surely need you surely need your head to make it work for 2 decades, and yourself to create a brand for yourself.
Right. Last question. Models get paid to party. Truth or myth?
When actually it's a wrong way you put it. Models get paid if it's a brand. We get paid to wear the garment and be at a party so that people notice the brand. And it kind of sounds wrong with the way the questions. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, we're paying you to be at a party," but there's always how do you say? There's always something like a catch to it, because I've done a lot of launches where I've been with the perfume, I've been with jewelry, but I've dressed up in a party, but I do get paid like wearing a watch, but I'm actually advertising it. There are times I've actually done a lot of launches where people think I'm actually in a party with my own clothes and my own stuff, and I have to keep reminding them that I'm actually working. So it's been situational, but the term is wrongly used. Actually, we do get paid to launch certain brands when we are at a party, because some people think it's easier for people to see, and since the press is already there, they call for a certain occasion, so everything is captured very naturally. So it goes with the flow. So yes, it's the truth.
Absolutely. It's true. Models do get paid to party, but you do need brains.
It's
It's
work.
not just about a pretty face, and
It's still
models
work.
eat food.
Yes. Listen, we need food. We
Uh,
love food.
Candice, slowly and gradually, we see the trend is changing. Now everything is going on digital platforms. So earlier, as you said that you go to parties and sometimes you just have to wear a brand and be there at the party and you get paid for it. Now things are moving on social media. Now all these things are going to influencers. All thanks to COVID-19 situation, the process is also accelerated. So is there a complete shift in the modeling industry? Or what do you see is going to be the future of our industry?
There's no point, because I don't know what the future holds myself. So our fashion industry has been on a hold since the last 5 months now, and there is no future at the moment till we get the vaccine. So for me, telling the future of fashion, well, everything is digital. Everything was digital, except now it's become more digital because people are working from home, and people are spending more time at home, and everyone's working from home. So people are using this medium to work, which is great. So people who have already been digital, then it's like a plus point because it comes naturally.
Yeah.
Like you have been digital before it actually became like a big thing right now because of the pandemic. So for us, it's easy to do it. Influencers, a lot of people are affected financially because influencers still do the same thing, but because the financial market is a bit low right now, so there's always going to be a cross cutting going on, and people are not ready to pay, and they'll make use of the pandemic. And I don't blame it, but it's a little hard actually to describe what our situation is economically. But it's a great platform, and people have already been in this platform. It's much more easier to create and do things what they're doing already. So you have its pros and cons, but I think it's great. And since the times have changed and it's gone, everything is digital. I think it's a new way to start all over and learn something. Because for me,
Yeah,
you and me,
it's
they've always been. You started your content, I think, your YouTube, I think, a while ago. So you've gotten better since it's now everything is more digital. So over the years, you've become more experienced with it. Some people are just getting onto it. So it's a tough process. It's going to be a lot of competition. Finances are not going to be that great, but I think it's good to do it since the time that we have. We invest in creating something than doing nothing at all. I think it's
you're absolutely right. This lockdown has actually taught me the value of the industry I was in
yeah,
because work was fun. I enjoyed walking the runway. I enjoyed every aspect of being a model. But
yes.
now that the lockdown has happened and we are all sitting home, I feel I appreciate the industry all the more now because I know how much I miss it.
But
And now
then
Unlock 3.0 was started. It's August.
listen,
All the
yeah.
industries have started to work. Are you getting any queries for shows and stuff right
See,
now, or
I get a
it's
lot.
all
I get a lot of queries for a lot of work, but obviously the finance is always going to be an issue. And I don't blame, because everyone either uses the excuse for finance, or either they genuinely don't have finance. But it's up to you whether you want to take up a job. So I get job queries, but at the end it comes down to finance, because if I'm going to invest so much of time, whether doing a video shoot or whether I'm doing a digital shoot or a picture, I'm investing time, I'm doing my makeup, I'm doing my hair, I'm giving them 110%. Like exactly for what you do. You've created your brand, you're creating something. So if you're putting in so much of an effort, you have to get paid. So either Barter's not going to actually pay my bills and pay my rent and stuff like that. So you have to be a little practical. And yeah, so if there's finance involved, surely I will be working, but otherwise there's no point doing anything for free, because even I'm working from home. So are you. So it's good.
And
It's a good
sometimes,
learning process. It's a good learning
yeah,
process.
but hard times inspires you to come up with creative solutions. And I know you love straightening your hair, right? You have still
No,
straightened your hair? You
no,
don't?
I have focus state. Actually, so I spend time on curling my hair, not straightening my hair.
Oh,
I have got
okay.
focus straight hair that I'm fed up with it, because I just have straight hair and I can't do anything with it. I don't even get proper curls. I literally sit sometimes when I have to do like my content shoots. I have to sit with the tongue and sit. Even that goes straight the next day, but it has to be done within a time frame of like 3-4 hours.
So that means you love your curling rod, your curling iron.
I don't use much of it. When you have fine, thin hair and you keep curling it, you're kind of burning your hair strands. I think in this pandemic, one thing I realized, my hair is less on my head and more on the floor.
But I have sent you a gift. I'm so sorry because of the
It's
rains and the
okay.
lockdown. It has not arrived. But I've sent you this
Oh, that's so
uh,
sweet.
a little gift. This is actually a cover for your flat iron or for your curling rod to protect them.
Oh God, that's fabulous. I think I need that for my rod, because I'm tired of keeping it in that
Yes.
box. I can't tell you. I think it's meant
Right.
for you only. What are the chances they're talking about curling my hair? I'll
That's
be
why I was
happy.
asking you. I thought you always iron your hair. That's why I sent
No,
you this, but you can always keep your curling rod in it.
thank you. I'll be
It's a
pleased.
sustainable product. This is made without harming anybody, without harming the environment. Also, it is an Indian company, so I support Atmanirbhar Bharat. That's why I've sent you something
Thank
like
you
this.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Stitch Company. Thank you,
Thank
the
you.
Stitch Company, for sending it to me and to Candy.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet. It's like I was just talking
Yeah.
about. First, I actually thought of tonguing my, then I was like, it's going to take 10 years. There's no point. And yeah, but actually, have focus straight. I've always had focus straight hair. Some
Yeah.
people think it's a blessing. Maybe it is a blessing. I think you must
It
be
is a
straightening.
blessing.
You must be straightening your
My
hair.
hair are also straight, but I just do it, to give a little more shine.
And like
That's why I keep straight.
that way I'm blessed. It saves a lot of my time dressing up, having
Yeah.
straight hair. Oh,
Right. And black is your favorite color. I've seen you wearing black all the time, most of the time.
I had a feeling that today I should wear black. And I had a feeling that you're going to wear black also, because I see you like colors as well. But I'm wearing black after a very long time, because the last few chats that I've had, I've actually worn color, and my parents are surprised that I'm actually wearing color apart from black. Yeah. So how has your months been in the lockdown?
So initially it wasn't great because we are always used to of going out and meeting people and being in parties and surrounded by them always. Also because I don't have family in Bombay, I was living there alone. So I was mostly dependent on my friends for comfort. But then when lockdown happened, I was completely locked into my house. So the first 15-20 days were really bad. I got into the zone wherein I was feeling that okay, the walls are now staring at me.
It's
So
hard. It's very
that's
hard.
when I started Vartalap and I thought that okay, there are certain conversations that I want to do. I want to reach out to people, talk to them. That's why I started the show and I'm so happy that now it has reached episode 25. And over the time, I think from July onwards, work has also picked up. And I'm so happy that now I've made myself so busy that I have no time to think about anything. I keep talking to people, I keep managing their life or my life, and I manage my work. I devote my time to Vartalab. I'm also working with a company. I'm doing influencing stuff. So I'm constantly at it doing something or the other so that my brain is focused and I'm
But that's
not devoting
great.
any time to the negativity around.
But actually,
Yeah.
that's what I realized, rather than sitting idle and doing nothing, you rather do something, whether it's like even like reading a book or even some researching or even studying something online. I think it's so important to keep your sanity intact by doing something, because when you actually sitting idle, because everything keeps bothering you even more. And I think since people complain about having lack of time, I think now we have so much of time, and if someone's doing nothing, I think it's a loss of so
Yeah.
much of it's valuable time that someone's losing. So I think it's important to
Right.
keep yourself occupied doing something, whether it's even like working out or reading or doing something. And it's great that you've kept yourself occupied, because it just brings out the best in you, and it's like a feel
Yes.
good
Yes.
factor at the end of it. It's very good.
Last 4 months also taught me that you are the happiest when you have something to look forward to the next day. So
Exactly.
I am trying to create that one thing that I am excited for the next day. Like today, I was interviewing you. I was so excited since yesterday. I was thinking, okay, what I'm gonna ask. I was actually a little nervous also because we have never spoken so much at Stretch. But
Exactly. That's why I told you to start. It's weird when you're interviewing me now. Because normally we say hi, hello, and then
yeah,
conversation ends. Because when you're working, we're just working. You stick to your same friends
yeah,
you're traveling with all the time. So it's not like we have a
right.
conversation. So I get nervous before every interview of mine, because you don't know what's coming your way. The first question before used to be quarantine. Now people have gone past through that quarantine, because now it's been like 5 months. So now there's so much to talk about, and just hoping that things get back to normal by unlocking any phase. I think the situation is still the same. It just comes down to the same thing: how safe you are when you're
And
out.
And I've been talking to people from the event business also, and everybody is of the opinion that possibly after October or December, things are going to get back to normal and events might start. So possibly runway will only come back next year, but before that, other stuff will keep on happening, and I'll keep looking forward for your YouTube videos.
Let's see. I'm quite excited because I do it every weekend. So today
Right.
Saturday, and normally I don't. I do most of my content on Sunday. So Sunday is something I look forward to. Like my weekends are the most busiest. That's why when you said Saturday, I have to literally think of Saturday. And I think this was a Saturday where I could actually give. Otherwise, I'm always doing content and video editing, everything on Saturday, Sunday. Those are weekdays. Take on a lot of other activities like studying something on my piano. So things keep me busy and the house. So it's good to be occupied. Sometimes I don't have time to do anything. Like I'm exhausted by the end of the day. But I think it's a good
I
feeling.
know. I spoke to you last Saturday and you were so occupied. I could just feel it in your voice.
Saturday is like a time where finally, after everything, because my husband works, he has just finished work and we just sat down to have dinner, and that was our time together. That's why I said after 15 minutes, no, directly the next day. And remember Sunday
I
when I'm
totally
doing like
understand.
content shoot. So yeah, so like weekends is something I look forward to, no matter how tired. So yeah, taking each day as it comes now, each week as it comes. So far, so good.
Candy, I've seen you're also very conscious about the people you hang out with. You don't make, I mean, you're friendly with everyone, but there are very few people in the industry who you call your real friends. So how important is it to have that important 5, 6 people of your life who are there as a pillar for you?
The thing is, because I've made these friends over the years that I've been in the industry, I've grown up with this industry. They're like it's a massive family, so I have gauged people over the years, and I have loads of friends, but I don't need to speak to them every time to actually strike a conversation. But you'll always have your comfort zone, few people that you're really close to. So, and I have a low tolerance for nonsense or stupidity, or I can't stand people.
Bullshit.
So I always believe I'd rather not have a conversation than get into a conversation with one, because I'm quite a straightforward person and I'm quite transparent. So when I don't like something or someone, it's very evident. So I've always minded my own business. I do my work, I do my job. I have lots of fun around. I love entertaining people. So I've created my family, and I just stay away from people that I don't feel the connection. So I don't really have to dwell into it or make them feel that I'm not really fond of them. So I just stay away from people that I'm not really attached to or fond of. I think it
Hashtag
makes
no
my life
bullshit.
easy. I think it makes my life a bit easy. Because I'm not someone who will pretend to be nice to someone. If I'm nice to someone, I'm nice. If I don't like someone, I just have nothing to say. I think that's
Yeah,
the way to be. There's no point getting with the person's face, because it's just not right. So I avoid.
right. Here people are writing that they're
I
loving your
know.
transparent attitude. And
That's happy to hear.
Candy, thank you so much for being here on Vartalap with
Same here.
Akriti. I had such a fun time talking to you on the 25th episode. You made it for me.
I know, actually, thank you for having me and thank you for managing. Like, it happened finally. And it's nice that I'm actually having the longest conversation with you right now. And it felt nice because even I was quite nervous as to what you're going to ask me. But it was quite good and it was quite realistic because I want people to know exactly what this whole supermodel thing is all about. It just tags. You just have to be a successful model at the end of it. And I'm glad to share this. I think people need to know.
Right. It is really helpful and knowledgeable. I'm sure many people would learn a lot from this conversation. And I hope the Stitch Company bag arrives to you soon.
I'll let you know when it arrives.
Please
Thank
do.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Candy.
You have a
Pleasure
great
having you.
evening. You too. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too. You too.